Speaking of those fights, though, 286.
Yeah,
Man.
oh, man. Hell yeah. That shit was good, man. It was good. The card didn't disappoint.
Yeah, not as many finishes I would have liked to see, or like I thought would happen. But I thought that Fiziev, the co-main, Gagey and Fiziev, I thought that could go to a decision, being 3 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, I thought for sure. I don't think Gagey was gonna gas. You know, he did eat some shots though. Like, what do you think of the scorecard? I think one guy gave him a 10-8 in the third, which I don't really agree with because, first of all, Gagey did get the win, but it was a weird, scorecard, right? It was like a majority decision or something like that, or some shit, right? Or he won 2 judges picked Gagey.
You know what, dude? My fucking thing cut out right before they did the decision, so I had to fucking just see like I already had Gaethje winning it just based off
by damage, right?
Yeah, by damage. The damage was foretelling, but I obviously had Gaethje taking the second and the third round. Fiziev, he came out firing. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you gave him the first round, but I gave him the first round.
Fiziev,
yeah, he took it to him in the first round. I could have gave him that, but on my scorecard, I had Gaethje winning at 29-28.
That's what I thought as well. Like the first round, I honestly could have seen it. Yeah, it was a majority, majority decision win because he had 2 judges did give it to him, and then I think one was a draw, so that makes it kind of weird. So either way, yeah, he was there. But they gave a 10-8 to him, and the one judge gave him a 10-8 in the third round, which was, like I said, kind of weird because he did get rocked in that third round. I remember early. Yeah. Like folded over a little bit, and then he came back and took over the round. But he just did more damage, though. Yeah, it comes down to that. First round could have been 10-10. I want to see more 10-10 rounds. Not that I want to see draws, but when they're even, why do you like sometimes you just can't, man. Why? When neither of them lose, their stock don't lose. It's kind of like why not be a draw or do another round or whatever. But like as far as that first round, that could have been a 10-10. One of those kind of like went either way. Who knows who won?
The only thing with that though, I feel like with these. I don't even know what to call these fucking judges, dude. These unknowledgeable ass fucking judges.
Oh, I know.
Like I feel like they'll just do that shit for a round that they weren't even paying attention to. Like they'll just pass it off for a 10-10,
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah, it was definite that Gaethje did more damage. He didn't throw as many leg kicks. Like Fiziev was attacking that body, for a minute. Because I feel like that was a I was gonna say, fuck, yeah, it was Benji. I don't know what I was trying to do right now. Shout out, so I was saying, Fiziev, what was I saying? What the fuck is saying? Benji just texted me.
Doyle rules.
What was that, Billy Madison or somewhere?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Doyle rules.
Doyle rules. That whole family of little dickheads, huh?
Yeah.
Little shits.
Hey, you know what was a good scrap between the women, man? That women's flyweight scrap between Jennifer Maia and Casey O'Neill.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
I gave it to Jennifer Maia hands down, but O'Neill, she hung in there the whole time.
Yeah.
She for sure hung in there the whole time. She didn't back down.
She kept going forward, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. She was pressuring her, but you could just tell, dude, like for every 1-2 that she was giving her, or for every 2 shots she was giving her, fucking, what's it called? Maia was putting it on her. Dude.
Yeah.
Like she was for sure just.
DC caught it perfect. She was letting off on that like a 1-2 uppercut and then back to the right.
The uppercut was sneaking its way in every single time.
She was doing that.
Yeah, the uppercuts and the hooks. Dude, they were finding the home every single time, dude. It was nice. It was nice. I gotta give it to her, man.
Yeah, no, it was a good fight. It was close. Like it started trending towards I keep forgetting her name. Not Maya. O'Neill. Yeah, Casey. Yeah, it started trending her way. Like at the end, like that last round was pretty much she started like finding her shots a lot more. You know what I mean? It was just like, man, if she would have had a little bit more output or even stop, because even the corner was telling Maya in between rounds, like, wait, don't attack first. Let her come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically to just counter, just keep countering. Yeah. I think that's where O'Neill should have changed it up a bit and made her, I think they mentioned even in the broadcast, like stop and make her come toward a little bit more or feint a little more, get some reactions, let her let off and then let off, because it seemed like as the fight went on, like, Casey started catching her rhythm and timing down, but it was just a little too late, I think.
Yeah.
I thought Maya just won the first 2 rounds, you know what I mean?
I think Casey should have utilized the teep kicks a little bit more. You know, just hit
body,
her with that. Hit her with that little foot jab because she had those long legs, bro.
Yeah,
she was pretty thick down there too.
She
you
did,
know what I mean? Like she was like steady trying to hunt with that roundhouse kick.
I know.
Like she was only firing a couple shots from the hands at a time.
Yeah,
I
wasn't busy enough, right?
Yeah. The output didn't match, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I give it to both of them, dude. Yeah, I give it to both of them. It was a hell of a fight.
Now, another one actually good women's fight was the opener. I don't know if you've seen that with Dan Hardy's wife, Veronica Hardy.
I heard about that. Yeah,
versus Juliana Moore, or is it Moore?
I seen that. Did she get a finish,
Not
right?
Moore, as an actress. Juliana, what's her name? Damn it, can't think of it right now. My bad. It was a good fight. Well, it was kind of one-sided, actually. But, Juliana Miller versus Veronica Hardy. Hardy, because reminded me because you said she has some thick legs. Hardy had some thick legs. She has some ham hocks, and she was.
He's like, yeah, I remember that shit.
she was using them though. Like she had because Juliana, I don't know if you remember her from Tough the last season. She ended up winning that one. She's real long and lanky. She's like 5'7", long legs. You know, she has really good jiu-jitsu. Actually, she was throwing up a lot of submissions. You know, off her back, like really fluid with just easy throw up triangles and arm bars. You know, she kept attacking for the arm bars and Kimura is actually a lot. You know, But like she was going for takedowns and ending up on the bottom a lot. And Hardy, she was like smashing on the feet. Everything she was landing, dude. She was like chopping at the legs, chopping at the body, like just landed a head kick at one point, just piecing her up on the feet. Like she has a Muay Thai background, hasn't fought in 3 years, so she was a huge underdog, or it was like a negative 300 favorite for Juliana. You know what I'm saying? But she ended up like just dominating, really 30-27. You know, just beat her everywhere. She looked good. Yeah, that was Dan Hardy's wife. You remember Dan Hardy?
Yeah,
the outlaw. Yeah,
with the mohawk and shit. Yeah, the red and black mohawk.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they have a show together, podcast.
Have you ever bet on the fights?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, one of my homies from work was doing that. Chris. Yeah, homie Chris. Yeah, he was telling me he might do a parlay, but he was gonna miss the fights. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a mountain driver, so he wasn't gonna make it back in time.
Okay.
Damn, London, huh? London early cards.
Oh, I know, dude. Man, I wonder what fucking time it is out there right now, man.
Yeah, must have
crazy, dude.
Must have been just regular like nighttime or showtime for over there, prime time, I guess.
Yeah.
At 2 here, yeah. Just I don't know. Must have been like 5 or 7 or some shit over there. Who knows?
Speaking of London, who's the talk around town in London right now in the fight game, dude? What does Paddy Pimblett have going on? You know,
I'm not even sure.
He doesn't have a fight, man. I don't know.
I think he's Paddy the fatty. He's just putting on pounds right now. I don't know.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully not. I mean,
you think he's 4x4ing it right now?
Animal style. No. Who knows, man? Cookies or some shit. Grandma's cookies. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, it would be interesting to see what happens with him. I mean, he has interesting personality. He's electric. He could have been on this card, I would have thought, you know.
Yeah.
Being out there, like it seems like they brought a lot of Scottish people, you know, whoever, like from the region to this fight.
Whole UK area and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it was good. It was interesting though. There was some bangers, like I said, the main card anyway. I mean, Vettori got the win. That was a close fight. You know, with that one, I kind of wasn't watching a whole lot of that one. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah, hey, towards the end, man, I thought Vettori was gonna get knocked out. Both them big boys, they were hitting each other with some shit, dude.
I know it started out good. They were both throwing shots. Was it Roman? I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, ex-training partners. They were about to. Yeah. Then who was it? Yeah, the ladies they fought.
Oh, hey, you know who had a fucking spectacular performance, dude? Mokaev.
Oh, Mokaev?
Yeah.
I heard about that one.
That motherfucker, dude. You could tell homeboy dislocated something in his fucking knee or something because he got him with a nice knee bar. Mm-hmm. He came back, weathered the storm, and he ended up whooping his ass and choked him out, dude. Yeah, he came back, dude.
You got a rear naked or?
Yeah, he got a rear naked against the cage, bro. Yeah, it was a good one. It's one to look back. Honestly, I need to look back on that shit, too.
Yeah, I'll put it on. I'll put it on right now a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So recap real quick, and I'll put it on so I'm down. Yeah, I always do that. Go back and watch the finishes at least. You know?
That's right. Yeah, I know it was a prelim banger too. I caught all the prelims, but yeah, I fucking fell off a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of missed it. Did you see the one with Patterson? I think it was a tall guy, and he.
I didn't. I missed a few.
Yeah, he got knocked out, and he he was out for a minute. Like he stood up and he was still trying to fight the ref. Like he didn't know he was knocked out for a minute. Like.
Oh, was it the long,
Long,
he
tall
was the
dude?
long, tall, skinny white boy.
Yeah.
In the lightweight. It was
Yeah.
a lightweight strap. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I seen that. That one was an impressive performance by the dude that put him out. I can't even remember his
Yeah,
name
super
because I
quick,
know
yeah.
he's foreign.
Yeah.
Yeah, these foreign guys, man, it's hard to remember their name. No offense
Wait.
to him.
Yeah, it was a huge size advantage. But, oh yeah, it was Filho and Makayev. Yeah, I could have sworn. Yeah, Patterson. It was Ashmos. Ashmos. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he came in and destroyed, and he put homie out. I mean, he put Patterson out. That guy was huge, though. Patterson. He had a huge everything advantage, really, but. Yeah, he got in that. He closed that distance, and he
I
put him
remember
out.
looking at his frame, dude. He looked like too sucked up. I think he needs to go up to 170 just to fill out
Yeah.
that frame just a little bit more.
Yeah, I was noticing he had a kind of a weird body, like shorter legs for being that tall, or something, just a little weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fight was crazy. But yeah, dude. And then go to the main event. We got Usman and Edwards. I mean, what did you think of the fight overall?
Usman Edwards, dude, it was good. It was good. I give it to Edwards because he came out with a different mentality, I think. I feel like he didn't let him bully him around,
Right.
knowing that he put him out last time. I feel like fucking Usman, he had that in his head, because it isn't like you get knocked out and just forget about that shit.
Yeah.
Like he knows that kick could come at any time.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knows he has to be on his shit.
He knows it's
that-
right there. That's
Yes,
why I wish
sir.
Edwards had thrown a couple more head kicks early on just to make him think that, like a reminder. I was telling Benji he should throw a head kick just to remind him real quick.
Hard feint that shit.
Just real quick, just even if he's gonna block it, whatever, just to let him feel real quick, like, damn, all right, it could be coming, just to keep that there. And he was tagging him with that body a lot. Those body kicks were hurting Usman. They were huge. Like first round, I thought Edwards, he came out strong. He won that round for sure. Then in my eyes, as far as a scorecard, there was another kind of weird scorecard because of a point deduction. So it kind of.
I don't like when those happen. I don't know, dude. Like with the point deduction, I feel like it's like a wild card and everything's up in the air at that point because you never know, dude. It's so weird.
It's kind of like we had to take it away at that point though, because it was almost a blatant cage grab. I mean, at first, he had it this way, and then you could tell he turned it that way.
Yeah.
But then when the takedown got a little bit more serious, he got a little more desperate with it. When he was, as you're trying to get up, I think it was, and then he grabbed it, so it was a little blatant. I mean, I think he should have been like, "Oh shit, I didn't do it," instead of saying, "No, I didn't do it," and then right there was on the replay, because Herb, they looked at the replay and everything. Then that's when he was like, "Oh, I'll make that decision. Let's take a point."
Yeah, and I like how Herb Dean kind of did. Like Herb Dean's the shit. Got to shout him out too, just because that fool. Like as soon as he even noticed that he was trying to cup the inside of the fucking glove, in the first round. He took a whole pause and just let him know, like, don't do that shit, Like,
yeah, what Usman did point it out, too. You could tell he was like, he's grabbing my glove. And that's what made me notice. I was like, hey, he was a little bit, but.
Yeah, which is fair, too, because, dude, like, in a mixed martial arts fight, dude, it's like with a wrestler against a striker, you can't take his base away from him and shit just because it's going to be more exciting of a fight and shit, Like, if he knows that he could put him up against the fucking fence all fight and put him down, then fucking let him do it.
If you can't stop it,
if you can't stop it, you can't stop it. Just get more skilled in that discipline. Then,
yeah, it was like GSP back in the day. A lot of people actually hated on GSP because he would, say he's a boring fighter because he would just take people down. Either he would, do the Superman punch or jab, or just perfect time double leg, take him down, control him. You know what I mean? Like he fought Josh Koscheck. So he got a lot of hate for that. But if you can't beat it, you can't stop it. So.
But what makes GSP the GOAT, too, is, like, even Josh Koscheck, dude, they fucking highly put him up on a pedestal just for his wrestling and shit. He out-wrestled Josh Koscheck. He would make it a point to go out there and beat people at their own game and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, with that being said, dude, do you think what's your welterweight GOAT hierarchy? 1, 2, 3.
I mean, GSP for sure is number one. I mean, and
Because
then
I know there's GSP, there's Hughes, there's Usman.
There's Matt Hughes, and Hughes are kind of like right there too, below GSP, obviously.
Those are honestly my top 3, but how would you rank it?
Man, I mean, I would say definitely GSP number one, obviously. So that's not even a question. And then I would say, man, I want to almost say longevity to Matt Hughes because that was GSP's nemesis, and he had such a long career there. But Usman did have the title defenses and all that, and he was on his way to even challenge GSP's reign a little bit. So I mean, he was dominant too in a lot of them. I mean, he had a couple close fights with Kobe, but it was still obviously he was a better fighter.
Yeah.
So I would say Usman, and then yeah, Oh, my bad. Good.
I was just saying, bro. What has to be factored in too is that like it's just a different era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like nowadays, dude. It's like you take it back to GSP, even Hughes's days. For sure, Hughes's days. There's more dudes who aren't multi-disciplined and multi-talented in every fucking discipline and shit. Nowadays, it's like everybody's elite in every fucking discipline.
You're right, because Hughes was able to get away with basically being a grappler, a wrestler, big country. Strong ass white boy. Just
that physically imposing fucking just
yeah,
menace,
wrestling.
You know what I mean?
Just had that just killer. He was a killer. So it's kind of like GSP took over that era because first he had beat GSP in their first fight, then GSP kind of dominated the next couple, and then after that had his run.
And that's why I think BJ Penn kind of took it to him too, because
he
BJ
did.
had the superior stand up and he had the elite fucking ground game too.
But he was more for lightweight though. Like when he went up to welter to face GSP, it wasn't really. GSP kind of just smashed on the second time.
Oh no! But I'm talking about
BJ legacy wise,
him and Hughes.
Yeah.
Compared to Hughes, that's why I'm saying like Hughes got away with smashing a lot of people due to his fucking monster ass wrestling and shit. But when he fought somebody as diverse as say a BJ Penn, BJ Penn fucked him up when it came down to it because his stand up was superior, and if he did take him down, jiu-jitsu
was crazy. I mean, the prodigy. He got his black belt like in 3 years. Yeah, his flexibility was unreal. Like his takedown defense. You want to talk about takedown defense? Like there's like different styles of takedown defense. Like you got like Aldo, who's just explosive, and like he just freaking gets spazzes out of stuff. And then you have explodes out of stuff, but you have another one like a BJ Penn who's just flexible.
That fool's a fucking spider, dude. It's like his fucking legs are like his fucking other arms, dude. He's a fucking spider.
You have one foot on your hip, one up here, or whatever. Just like you said, a spider just everywhere on you and can attack from anywhere. Yeah, I mean, his problem was just like Frankie Edgar, that style, guy who has wrestling and enough jiu-jitsu to not get taken out or just be able to stay away on the feet with his footwork and, just outpoint you, Like that's what I'm saying. Styles make fights, man. There's always someone who could dominate, and then there's always someone who could come in and just, be his kryptonite, like Adesanya and Pereira, Like Pereira is just like his kryptonite, And then, so like Pereira and Adesanya. Well, let's finish the Usman fight. I want to finish at that. So, like the fight was close. Like so, this is the way I scored it. I felt Usman won Edwards won the first, Usman won the second. He was able to get a takedown, I think, and he was always constantly going forward. In my mind, he won the second, maybe not, but. It was close. It could have went either way. Some judges, I think, or people even like the Twitter people and stuff like that, I think were giving it to Edwards as well. But then the third round was a point deduction, which like he did have a couple other fouls. It was like a nut shot, but then Usman kind of complains a lot about those. But one was right on the nuts, and then he had another one. It was an eye poke? No, it was. Oh no, the glove grab. Yeah. So there was a couple things. It was kind of like maybe that's why I took a point too, but. It kind of built up. But if Edwards won that round, that makes it 9-9, with a point deduction. But if he lost, then it's like a 10-8 Usman. So I think it's kind of apparent. We would have to look at the scorecards, but the judges must have gave that to Edwards and made it 9-9. Mm-hmm. So after 3 rounds, it's basically even fight, 1-1 and then 9-9. You know what I'm saying?
So then at that point, it goes down to the championship rounds.
The last 2 rounds. And if Usman, I thought Usman won the fourth. I guess it was another close round. I thought he had took it. I think he got a takedown or something right at the end. Yeah, that's all I was even,
wasn't that when he was snapping him back with those right straights?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, he had him up against a cage mostly.
Yeah, he was snapping him back with those right straights. Yeah, he got a couple good ones in there. That like,
he looked like he was in trouble, right, for a minute?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could tell that he kind of tagged him.
Yeah. And after that, he was able to like hold him down a little longer, And then I think Edwards even shot for a takedown once he did get up right away because he kind of just wanted to go back there because I think he was a little rattled. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think Usman won that round, so that's kind of made it like but so I could see either a draw or if Edwards, I think he won the 5th round, so that kind of maybe it's either he won that or a draw. That could make it a draw or it's just weird. I don't know. What I'm saying? If it was. Even after 3, and then they both split the last 2, it still makes it a draw. Like, so I could see a draw or Edwards, I guess, but
these judges don't know what the fuck they're doing, though.
It just depends on what that second round really. Like, who do you think would have to rewatch the second round? Like, if it was Usman or Edwards. I had thought me and Benji were like, I think that was Edwards. Like, Usman, because I felt like he was just going forward more. He was attempting stuff, and he landed a couple shots. But I don't know. Edwards was constantly hitting the legs and at a high percentage, like 70% or something like that. All his strikes.
Yeah.
He was eating up that leg, something like 30-some, 40 leg kicks, tearing that body up too at one point where it looked like Usman did get bent over. He got folded a couple of times, I think, with those body kicks, like just slapping at body kicks. That was pretty nasty. So all the talent shots I thought were from Edwards. I think Usman hit a couple nice right hands, and stuff like that. But like the big knee from Edwards, you know what I mean? Like all the big shots were from Edwards, I think.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He utilized his kicks really well. He tagged up the lower body really well to set up his punches and shit too. It was really even. It was back and forth. But overall, I would have to edge it towards Edwards too.
Yeah.
Just based off just the output as well,
Right. Yeah. And the accuracy, like I said, he was efficient with his striking. He wasn't wasting anything. I wish he would do a little more here and there, but he has to be worried about the wrestling and other stuff as well. So he did a great job. And one thing I want to point out too is like he did such a good job with the wrestling. Like every single time Usman got him up against the cage, his hand was immediately on the wrist, on that hand, not letting Usman lock his hands together to swoop him up. A couple of times he was able to do that, but on the most part, he was grabbing those wrists immediately and hand fighting like immediately.
Yeah.
Instead of, you could tell he learned a lot from the last fight. Like I felt like that was the one thing I said in the breakdown into the fight too. I felt like he had a lot more to learn from this than like if Usman was just thinking, I basically dominate 2, 3, and 4. That's all I have to do to win this fight. But I feel like Edwards could, game plan better this time around than say their first meeting when he had no wrestling and he fights a wrestler, and then he had all those years, but he wouldn't really fight a wrestler and he didn't fight Usman. So now he got to feel Usman again. Like now, even though he still got controlled for a couple of rounds, but I'm saying I felt like he could game plan better for that now and learn more because he fought Usman more recently. You know what I mean? And was able to not get gassed out and knock him out in the 5th round. So.
And I believe wasn't their first meeting? Wasn't that the last loss that Edwards had?
Yeah, that's when he went on his run after that. He hasn't lost since, right?
That was his perfect learning experience.
Yeah.
He had that perfect learning experience, and I guarantee you he probably made it a fucking point every day at training to fucking just learn that takedown defense because he's already elite in striking as it is,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's just I see him at the top for a cool while. I'd say about like, man, I don't even know. I can't even put a timetable on it, dude. I'm not one to say. But what do you see next for both of these guys, dude?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, do you see because, the other wrestler, boogeyman type of in the room was Kobe Covington. He was there. He went out of it was kind of weird how they played it, like surprise, Kobe's weighing in, and, bringing in the freaking, the shower.
They're overhyping him. He has the same skill set as Usman, dude, but I don't think he's as good. I don't think he's as good.
I think Usman's just a little better everywhere, right? I mean,
they present the same fucking challenges because they're basically gonna mix up the striking really well, clinch you the fuck up, wear you the fuck down, pull basically like the old school Randy Couture shit. But not the same way he did it. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna wear you down, beat you up, and then their striking will be better after you're tired.
The one thing is I give Kobe is he has a different pace than Usman. Like Usman is a little bit slower even with his wrestling. He'll just take you up against the cage. Like Kobe will just keep shooting. He'll shoot 20 times if he has to, or try attempts.
Yeah.
And he'll just let you back up, do it again.
So do you give him more of an edge?
I definitely give him I think he matches up better with Leon than Usman, even though, like you said, like they're similar. But as far as the way they use their skill sets, I think it's different because Kobe kind of just brings war, like just a pace, strikes, whatever. He's mobile, constantly just pushing up against the cage, doing that, trying to smother you. But on the feet, he does get hit a little bit more, and I don't know if his chin's the same. He's been rocked a few times.
That shit has been broken too.
Yeah, and Edwards is accurate, and he's going to have to fight on the feet at first, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing where I would give Edwards an advantage is I would give him an advantage in the striking. Even though Kobe does have some good hands, he has some good ass boxing, I think, and he was able to catch even Usman a few times and rock him. Pretty much everyone, But the thing is, I don't know if he could have that just tactical fight because seems like he over commits a lot on his strikes and a little bit out of position. Somebody like Edwards, like a sniper, I just call Edwards a sniper. You know what I mean? he's going to take advantage of that, and I think he could, like, yeah. But that's a good matchup, though. I mean, but at the same time, it's kind of weird that how Kobe, we were talking about earlier before I started recording, that how does Kobe get a title shot when his last fight was a win against Masvidal? And not hating on Kobe, but you're been off for a year. Masvidal is the only person in the top 15. He's number 10 where he has a win over. You know what I'm saying? And
there's
it's like,
plenty of more active fighters around you
Yeah.
who have been active, who have put on more spectacular performances. Because it's like, let's be real, dude.
yeah,
You got a fucking decision win over Masvidal, whose last couple fucking, like, he had, what, 2 losses?
Yeah.
That shit? You know, it's like, I don't know, dude. I would give that opportunity to Bilal Muhammad before I give it to Kobe, based off Bilal Muhammad just knocked the fuck out some dude who was undefeated, who they were
Right.
expecting would beat him. You
Yeah.
know? It's like,
either that or made them fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who had winner between Kobe and Bilal, who's been calling Kobe out. They could have made that fight, and then the winner gets this fight. Like, he could have fought on this card, actually, and they could have both fought on this card, and then the winner gets this, like, this is it. But I think this was a way for Kobe to, come and make weight, whatever, train for these guys, either guy, just to do the UFC a favor and basically be in good favor with them and stay relevant without actually having to book a fight yet, because maybe it's even the court stuff, you know what I mean? Maybe because that stuff's not taken care of yet. Maybe he can't even. I don't think so, though, because Masvidal's already booked.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless he's just trying to say, and he can't be saying he's hurt then if he's here to show up and he might have fought. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird situation. It would have made more sense if he'd have fought on this card or close to it, instead of now, like, what if the UFC, and now they're going to try to make this fight, maybe International Fight Week.
It makes me think, too, because it's like him dipping his pool into the idea, like, yeah, I'm going to fight as a backup. Does that basically mean that he's not going to get taken out of the rankings? Because I know damn well that after a certain amount of time of inactivity, these motherfuckers will take you out of the rankings. And
Yeah.
shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, him pulling that shit, does that basically set back his timetable? Like, boom, like, since he did this shit and he served as a backup, does that shit mean, like, now he gets more time or what?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look at
don't
John Jones. He was out of the pound for pound list. You know what I mean? He
But
wasn't
at
there.
the same time, that's John Jones, dog. We know damn well that he could be out for however long he wants. He'll come back and he's still the GOAT.
He's
you
still
know?
number one, just
Fucking
like
A.
that. You got to give it to him, though. And
Yeah.
and now he's champ, so it actually makes more sense. Like, a lot of people, like, of course, Islam's home, he's DC, and then we're hating on the him being number one over Islam. But it's like, it makes sense because, Islam's a champ. Yeah, he's good right now. And Volk too, like Volk, he was going for champ, but he didn't get it. So, by the judges or whatever, yeah, he's right there. He is definitely one of the best pound for pound. But John Jones, who hasn't really lost in everyone's eyes, he is a champ now. So, and that's kind of what pound for pound should mean, is whatever your weight is at, you're the best or you're the champ there.
Yeah.
Like, if John Jones could somehow make 185, you don't think he beats Adesanya or Pereira at
Oh,
180?
most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Most
So it's
definitely.
like, yeah, that's what pound for pound to me means anyway.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if it wasn't for all the politics behind that bullshit and all of his fucking bullshit with him, he would
Right.
for sure still be at number one. He would have been at number one ever since
Yeah.
they took him off of the shit,
Yeah,
But,
for sure, yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, that's the GOAT. They're going to put him wherever. He just had to have a fight, and he was in there, so.
Yeah, Islam for sure. He could for sure make a case for pound. I'd like to say at least after 7 more title defenses.
Yeah, he's got to get
Because I'm
some
like,
wins in there. He was kind of unproven to get the shot,
Yeah,
Even Khabib, like, not to hate on Khabib, he was undefeated, all that. And he had stiffer competition right before he retired, but his path to the title, he did fight a lot of dudes, but, I mean, to get the bout, it was literally against Ally Quinta on short notice,
yeah.
So, I mean, that was
literally.
still just a chance type situation, you know what I mean?
And at the time, I'm pretty sure that there were like at least like 10 motherfuckers.
No disrespect
that-
for Ally Quinta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it might have been 6th or something at that time, maybe, or 7th, and he's a beast, you know what I'm saying? And he survived, he went 5 rounds, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he wasn't even prepared for a heavy attack, he was going to fight a striker, I think, like Paul Felder or somebody.
Yeah, hey, I'll give him all the respect in the world because I'm pretty sure that he took him to a decision when a lot of motherfuckers didn't, dude. Like, a lot of people got finished by Khabib and shit. But I'm just saying from a standpoint that there were a lot of more deserving people at that time, but nobody was willing to step up on short notice like Al was. And that's why I give him all the credit in the world, because that man got balls and he stepped up to fucking fight a monster who nobody even wanted to fucking get in there with at that time.
Yeah, I think Max Holloway was actually trying to as well, and something happened. They wouldn't let him.
Oh, that was that fight then.
But they wouldn't let him because, I don't know, health reasons or something.
I remember this. I know I listened to enough fucking JRE and shit. Just, basically, what it was is New York State Athletic Commission, I assume, or I suppose, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 90% sure on this. They seen what he looked like. He looked like shit. They deemed that he looked like shit. But I'm like, dude, he's cutting weight. You know what I mean? Everybody looks like shit. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like they were saying he looked like shit when he was cutting to 155. And I'm like, dude, he's already the 145 champion. It makes no sense at that point. You know?
Yeah, like, I know, because it was that show that he's coming down from like 170, you know, to 145.
That was at a time when the New York State Athletic Commission, I believe that somebody in boxing had lost the eyeball. So these guys weren't taking any chances and shit. So, like, they were fighting lawsuits left and right, and they just wanted to be extra sure. Like, they just didn't want nothing bad to happen. They didn't want to be liable for anything, which is understandable because at the end of the day, people just want to watch out for their pockets and shit, you know?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah, well, crazy, yeah. Well, Edwards keeps his belt, so that's watch away. Kobe's next for him. It seems like Dana's pushing that, you know, so seems that's the next move there. What's next for Usman? Maybe he'll get Bilal, you know.
I was thinking that. He'll get Bilal, but at the same time, do you think that he took enough damage to where he's going to need like 6 months off or something? Like,
no, I don't think so.
What do you think his timetable is? Because they're going to give him respect. They're going to respect his wishes on whatever he wants to do because he was such a dominant champion. And he knows that he's going to have to take a step back in line now and possibly rack up a couple more dubs until he gets back into the title picture. I'd like to say at least 3, maybe 2 impressive finishes or something, you know, before he gets that title shot again.
Yeah, it's going to be a while for him.
Yeah, he has to create a valid case for another title run.
Yeah, and that would depend on everything too, though. What happens with Kobe and Edwards? And
already having the trilogy fight with Edwards kind of just makes it really just up in the air because he has 2 losses in that shit.
If Kobe beats Edwards, then all of a sudden it's like, well, he has 2 wins over Kobe, so it's like he could be right back in there.
And with that fucking Figueiredo Moreno fight, dude, I don't think they're gonna shy away from making a what I don't know what they call it now, a
quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna shy away from making those anymore because if they'll do it for the 125ers, I'm pretty sure they'll do it for the heavier boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Make some more money off that shit.
Yeah, and they said that O2 Arena was their biggest sellout of the year so far, or something like that.
Word? That's what's up.
So I mean, yeah, they could find another venue to do that fight, then yeah, I'm sure they could do that. Put on a stacked card. Like the Alex Bahia, Adesanya rematch coming up. That's another banger.
Hopefully we see him UFC Mexico in the works coming up, man, with all these Mexican champions we have coming up. I know we got, what's it called? There's Yair, there's Alexa Grasso, Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
Grasso, hey, you got to
What'd you think of
her,
that?
man.
Yeah.
Hey, she fucking gave it to her, dude. Like, I'm not going to say that I favored her in that fight. I thought Valentina was going to knock her the fuck out. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I wanted her to win just because that's a raza.
Right,
yeah. You know, I wanted her to win that shit.
But you're probably like, how does she win, right?
Yes.
Like, where does she beat her?
As soon as Valentina fucking gave up her back, dude, she fucked up. And I gave it to her, dude. She fucking jumped on her back like a fucking leech, dude, and she just fucking got her, man.
Yeah.
She got her.
It was so fast and so professional the way, like, she attacked that situation straight for the back and straight hook in immediately, dragged her down and got the other hook.
She did her homework.
She did, yeah. They showed her actually practicing that move because Valentina, it's funny because we had people over watching the fights and I was even saying, like, right before I was explaining to it was my cousin Angel, I was like, she likes to, her timing is impeccable with her counters. Valentina, like, she likes to throw spinning back kick counters and lands them a lot. So that's kind of a tendency or, you know, a technique that she uses a lot, you know. So, you know, I was thinking of that, and, you know, that's just me. I'm not fighting her. Her whole team, and they were training for that position. They noticed that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that was a weakness that, all right, we could capitalize on this. Mm-hmm. You know, like, so when she does this with her feet or whatever, you kind of tell because she had almost telegraphed it, getting desperate with stuff too, back against the cage, and then that's not the time to throw a spinning attack, you know. I don't think, you know what I mean? So then she timed it perfectly and trained for that, like just that detail, and just took the back immediately and
capitalized.
Didn't even have it under the chin, just squeezed, her face so hard that she tapped. You see, it was
Bro,
all
did
white.
you see? You seen that fucking picture? How it was white and then it was red and shit. Like, fuck.
That squeeze must have been tight. But Grasso was putting hands on her the whole fight. Like every single round, whenever there was a boxing exchange, Grasso was landing combos. Just like just nice combos, always making her pay. And Valentina was feeling that, and that's why she was trying to wrestle as much as she could. So I don't know. I think that both the rematch was going to be crazy. I think it's going to be close again, but I favor Grasso. Feel like she's going to have her, more to learn from as far as like the, wrestling and stuff like that. Because Valentina got a couple perfectly timed, takedowns and stuff like that, but didn't do a lot of damage. Grasso was actually working off her back a lot. I liked how she had a high guard, and even though she wasn't attacking submissions, she was throwing a lot of punches from the ground, elbows.
Giving her a lot of shit to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Valentina was never able to pass guard. I think maybe one time, and then almost had it in a crucifix, but immediately she got her arm back and defended perfectly to reverse the position and get out, get out of there.
Yeah.
So, I was impressed with her ground game. She's like a purple belt, but just how fluid she was and able to just not really take damage and just kind of keep her working anyway to keep her on top. Because you could tell Valentina kind of got gassed a little bit. So I think it's tough to hold somebody down too, when they're scrambling and doing things, So
yeah,
it takes more energy, So yeah. But that fight is going to be good. Yeah, they got to have a Mexico card for that. Mexico, they have Yair and Volk could be in Mexico, and then that could be on the undercard, Grasso and the rematch, and yeah, man. Who's the other champion?
Brandon Moreno.
Oh, Brandon Moreno, duh. Yeah.
I know they have something set up with him too. I believe he's fighting who? Pantoja?
Yeah, Pantoja, who actually has a win over him. I think maybe even 2 wins.
Did he have a stoppage win over him?
I want to say yes, but I don't.
Because I like to say that like it's different between having a decision win and a stoppage win. Like a stoppage win, that should have probably resonate within somebody,
Yeah. I think it might have been grappling because I know Pantoja is like jiu-jitsu type, Yeah, I wonder about that. I don't know. Brandon Moreno, when is that one happening? I don't think that anything's signed on that either, though, honestly. I just think he's just next in line.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Moreno's the shit, man. Yeah, I'm in his corner, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, I love how he fights. He has that Mexican spirit, the way he comes, just throwing
dog
bombs.
In him.
That dog in him, man. He just bite down on that mouthpiece and just throw, and, he brings it, man. He brings, it's a decision, I guess, for Pantoja.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that was an Ultimate Fighter, I believe.
Oh, dude, Moreno, he's a completely different dude since then, man. I'm pretty sure that was before they gave him the boot outside the UFC and shit. Because I know he was outside the UFC for a little bit. He came back and he's on this monster run that he's on now, dude. Like that dude, I feel like he went through a fucking revelation or something. I don't know. There's Moreno.
Oh, Moreno, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, how are you gonna be outside the company and then it's like something just flicks. And then you're fucking champ and shit, just performing the best you've ever been.
Especially coming from TJ, but too, but just humble beginnings to, be a champion, man. It's like both of them. It's just crazy. They could build stories off these, it's gonna help. They're gonna have a PI in Mexico too now.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what's up. It's like, just imagine, dude, just a couple years down the line, just how much more fucking elite fucking Mexican fighters you're gonna see now. It's
all these lower weight classes too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They might have to. What do you think about that? I think they need to start expanding the weight classes because there's all these in betweeners. You know what I mean? That could be. Really make noise, but they're a little too small. Like Gastelum, for sure, he's not a middleweight. You know what I mean?
I don't think they should expand it too much, like boxing, like super whatever and shit. Like not
every 5 pounds or 7.
Yeah, I'd say just make it easier between the 155ers and the 170ers. Move 170 to 175,
165.
Yeah, and then add a 165 division in there because there's gonna be a lot of fucking in betweeners in that division. I guarantee you that there's a lot of people who would be champion in 170, 150, 155 who could fight each other in that 165, and it'll make it that much more entertaining and shit. Yeah. And also 185 between 205. You could add like
195.
Yeah, 195. Maybe. Just 2 more weight division. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe. But I don't know. Yeah, that one's kind of a stretch, but still, just maybe a couple more weight classes, make it a little bit more intriguing.
Yeah, especially in that middleweights, because like I said, there's like Gastelum and Chris Weidman. That's a huge freaking size difference mismatch. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you know, like if he was at a 175 though, he might be okay. It's just 185. He was a little too big for 170. He had trouble making weight. But even like a Woodley or these guys, they could probably go 175, or a lot of people at 165 even, like Diego Sanchez type guys, Cerrone, you know, those type guys who they could have probably been in those other weight classes as well. You know, moving back and forth with them just creates more belts, more champs, you know, more hype. You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. Yeah. More champ fights. That's just more exciting. You know what I mean? Like not too much to where it waters down the whole sport, but enough to where it's like you give more guys opportunities and it makes it more exciting and shit. You know?
Seriously.